This one's reasonable. So this is Chicago Bulls. This would be Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso for Tobias Harris, Teja's boy Furkan Korkmaz, and a future pick. Where would you guys go with this one?
You said Zach LaVine?
Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso for Tobias Harris, Furk, and a future pick.
That's another guy I wanted to put, by the way, in the previous.
I'm taking that because of Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I agree. Zach LaVine's a good fit with
Zach LaVine allows you to, if James doesn't come back, you got Maxey the one. He allows you to bring Maxey off the bench.
Oh, you mean if Harden did come back too?
Yes, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a big. I mean, I guess it's not that crazy because I mean the salaries, Tobias and
I mean we making these trade questions.
No, Tobias and LaVine make
James there, right?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not.
We have to look at it both ways. If he returns or he doesn't return.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that with
if Tobias is leaving and James isn't coming back. I mean, we got to address that position too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
LaVine's
like
good size.
The Beal trade is like, okay, that's what I'm saying. So if I'm thinking the Beal and I'm giving up Maxey, then I can't be looking at it as James not there either.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And LaVine would be a decent fit next to Maxey, bigger, 6'5".
I'm just saying that then we giving up 3 starters to get 2.
Yeah. Oh, because you're not getting Harden back too.
Yes.
Yeah. I like LaVine. I didn't name him earlier in those lists because it's not as realistic. But
is he a free agent?
No, he's locked in for a while.
We were looking at
yeah. So it'd have to be like a trade, like a Murray type thing. But there are rumors of them blowing it up and trying to clean up their salary cap. So you don't know.
There was rumors of them blowing it up and keeping him and not keeping them. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One would be getting rid of DeRozan. The other one would be getting rid of him. So a lot of Philly fans don't like DeRozan addition. I honestly wouldn't mind that at all. If you're going to get rid of Tobias and add DeRozan, I wouldn't mind that either. It's a different kind of thing than this because this you putting him next to Maxey. I think he's 6'5". He can guard the bigger guards. Can just go off on his own. Can play make a little bit. He can shoot 39%. And honestly, I'd rather have the contracts. I'd rather have him at 40 than have James at 50. You guys agree with that?
I ain't getting in anybody's pockets like you.
No, but if I said this guy for 40 or this guy for 50, you can say
I mean, obviously, if it helps the team get better, I mean, and you still got a serviceable guy. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to how they, how you got Morey and now Nurse, how they view Maxey. That's what it's going to come down to.
I know, yeah.
Because you're going to have to pay him. So are you paying him to be your off guard, or are you paying him to be your primary ball handler?
Yeah. And unfortunately, if you don't get Harden back, you're going to have to address right now which one you're going to put him in.
Yeah.
Unless you're lucky enough to get like a LaVine or a Murray, which you can kind of alternate them a little bit, right? I mean, Murray can be your primary, and sometimes Maxey can run the point if Murray's on the bench.
But I do believe if James does not come back, someone will come. I do believe it'll be a sign and trade.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come back.
If we did trade with Houston, like let's say he does go back to Houston, will we get somebody from Houston, or would it allow us to give us the I forgot was that abbreviation, Teja, the one that TPE that'd be in lieu of getting someone from Houston?
I would assume
you would get something, then you would get a trade exception, which allows you to go and address that.
I mean, I could see the only one them doing is probably Porter Jr. just because you'd have a log game of guards out there. I mean, someone would have to go.
Yeah, they're going to have to give up some of those guards because you can't.
Which I didn't list him earlier, but I wouldn't mind Porter Jr. either. He's like an 18, 19-point scorer. He can rebound. He's kind of like a poor man's not as good defender version of Murray, actually. On the bigger side, like 6'4", 6'5". So, I wouldn't mind that either. And the best part about Porter Jr. is, sorry, Eric, none of his contract's guaranteed. So he's 15 million, and we get to say yes or no on that every year.
Hands out my pocket, man.
Well, with Porter Jr., his pocket is the Sixers' pocket because they could be like, no, it's like an allowance almost. Be like, no, not this time. You don't get that. You don't get it.
Would you like that fit, Eric? KPJ and Maxey?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I still think that would have to be addressed in another way. I think you get a trade exception and you get an additional player somehow. So have to see how that goes. But you still have Melton, but I still think you have to address in a different way, in an additional way, rather.
Here's one that just came up recently. It was a lot of talk of around all the draft stuff. There's gonna be a lot of moves this offseason. Teams are gonna start making trade calls about Indiana looking for a power forward, a reliable power forward to have there. Someone brought up the fact that they could see them doing like a Hield for like Tobias, and we would get back $20 million of cap relief and then add Hield. And then in doing so, you could re-sign Harden and you can add the TMLE, the $13 million exception. Was that something that would interest you for cap flexibility? I know Hield's not a power forward, but you can maybe sign someone with that money.
I would consider that. Yeah, I would definitely take that one. You can address the shooting. You can still address that position in another way. Still have PJ Niang and hopefully maybe McDaniels back. Yeah, I mean I would probably take that. And then you get Reed back, and like you say, if Reed increases the shooting, then he'll be the 4-man. I mean, but ultimately, you get Hill back, and the signing of PJ should address the 4.
Should, yeah.
And PJ and Niang should address the 4.
So you'd be happy going into next season as your 4 PJ and Niang.
If you get someone like Buddy Hield and you have an trade exception, that you can address it however you need to address it, yes.
Mm.
But that trade exception will have to be addressed a certain way. So I'm looking at it as –
you're saying if Harden's gone.
Hmm?
You're saying if Harden's gone, you mean?
That's not what you said.
Oh, you mean the Hield deal?
Yeah, you said you make the Hield deal with Harden there. That's what you said.
From what I read, from people speculating, obviously, it would just be Hield for Harris. No exception. We would just get $20 million of cap relief.
Oh, I thought you said exception.
No, I
misheard that too.
Yeah, I mean, you get exception, but I mean, I'm not willing to do anything with Tobias until I know the direction of James Harden.
Yes, I would assume they do this knowing.
Yeah, you got to really know how your team is going to look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like it. If you're saying James isn't there, I'm not certain.
Yeah. I think you would do that. I think you would do that knowing James is coming back. So you have James, Maxey. To go a little more defensive, you can start making McDaniels.
You address the shooting. That's what I'm saying.
And your bench would be loaded. You'd have like Springer, Melton, Hield, Reed, Niang, or whatever.
You can play 3. I mean, he's basically a small forward. You can play that.
He can, but defensively, Maxey, Harden, and Hield. Oh boy.
I don't know, man.
You have to score 150 points every game to be able to undo that.
Nurse like the Bill Belichick of defense in the NBA, dude. He'll have to play defense.
Bill Belichick of defense with no Hall of Famers on the actual defensive side, right? Yeah, I guess.
So what did we have this year in Game 7 in Boston?
Oof.
No, but we need to improve that, right?
No, I'm just saying that. What do we have this year?
What do we have? A collapse in the second half of the game.
I'm just saying, like the guy went for 50 in the Game 7, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying I would probably like McDaniels starting at the 3 there.
I'm just saying, we had defenders now. I'm just saying, like, people are going to still score the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it has to be a collective thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's why I wanted my boy Reed to get more playing time. Play a little defense.
And then you're going to say we can't score. So,
if you have Hield, Maxey, Harden, and Embiid, do you need Reed to score more than 6 points a game? I mean, Tucker isn't.
That's what Marcus and his people are going to say. With him scoring.
Yeah. There's never there. You can't win.
Hey, if Reed's shooting 40% from three, I'll be happy with that. But
if Reed shoots 40% from three, he's going to start and play like 35 minutes a game. Okay, he is the that would be a massive jump.
Be huge. But we have the shot doctor and Nick Nurse going to break down his shot. He's gonna turn him into Rafe LaFrance, man.
Wow. Talking about Nurse. You were just killing Nick Nurse when he played in the playoffs. Now he's a savior. Make up y'all mind, man. Which one you gonna do? Now the Sixers like, oh man, he's great. He do this and break down shots and this and that. And we just sat up there and played against them and said Toronto's team couldn't shoot. Which one is it, Marcus? Which one is it?
Oh, I was making fun of Teja's.
Didn't we play them when they said they had no shooters? Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So what are we talking about?
No, I'm just making fun of Teja saying he's breaking down shots and he loves doing that. That was Teja. I was just quoting him.
Oh, you see how he put that on you, Teja?
Hey, Boucher, Siakam, OG Anunoby, all shots have improved over the last 3 years.
What are the percentages, though? Like,
what do you mean?
You're saying shots have improved as far as the look of the shot or the percentages? Because you're talking about breaking down shots.
Oh, we were actually watching the Toronto game against what series? What year was that? 18, 19?
It was the Cavs It was the Raptors series. They got swept.
Yes,
Nurse wasn't there.
Yeah, he was assistant on that step.
We were actually watching him a little bit because he was more vocal than Dwayne Casey was on the sidelines.
He was more visibly what's the word?
Demonstrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Number 2 seed.
It's true.
So Anunoby's percentages have increased and his volumes increased. So he went from 2.7 his rookie year to 5.5 now a game attempts. And he shot 37 and 33 his first 2 years. He shot 39 this year. So
who you Siakam?
Anunoby.
I do know that those guys in Toronto, they put in work. We got it. This in LA, like their whole team would go to work out in LA and California and work together. So they put in work.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on when a guy makes improvement as a professional, saying the coach is the one who did it. Because when he doesn't have success, we're not coming and blaming the coach for him not having success shooting the ball.
Yep.
So why are we giving the coach credit when it goes the other way?
Yeah, it's definitely not 50-50, but in the case of like Ben Simmons, for instance, when he wasn't improving his shot, people were tearing him down. People were also tearing down, Brett Brown for coddling him too much and not getting on him about improving his game.
Yeah, but that's not breaking down the shot. That's not breaking down the shot and creating the shot. That's how you treating him. You're not holding him accountable, but that's not necessarily working directly with his shot, is what I'm saying.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I don't know what they were doing as far as that goes. I don't think anyone did.